You might not know it to look at him, but this man has been called the biggest cheat in the history of the Olympic Games. Boris Onyshenko, or Boris Disonyshenko as he soon became known, earned his place in the Olympics Hall of Shame for some innovative skullduggery in Montreal in 1976. Onyshenko's event was the modern pentathlon, an all-round test of an athlete's skills. Pentathletes ride horses and run grueling cross-country. They shoot pistols. They swim. And step up, épée in hand, onto the fencing piste. But Onyshenko added a sixth discipline all of his own, electronic engineering. And this bright spark from the Soviet Union nearly rewired the entire integrity of the Olympics. Onyshenko was a popular member of the USSR's modern pentathlon team. He was well liked and well respected in a close-knit group. He won the team gold in Munich in 1972 and the individual silver twice. Here he is on the podium in 1968, receiving a silver medal behind the Hungarians. But maybe he thought his powers were on the wane. Away from prying eyes, Onyshenko, or someone he knew, made a few modifications to the handle of his épée blade. All of a sudden, during a fencing contest against Britain's Adrian Parker, held at the Montreal University Sports Facility, Onyshenko seemed to be a magician. Despite the Ukrainian's épée not quite touching the Briton's body, the electronic scoring mechanism recorded a hit. The British thought it was a malfunction until it happened again in another match. Onyshenko, a military man himself, then faced Jim Fox, a 36-year-old sergeant in the British Army. And the same thing happened again. Onyshenko lunged at Fox. Fox skillfully leapt out of the way. But the scoreboard lit up to record a hit. The Brits smelled a rat. But Fox would not be conned. The Britons again complained and the officials investigated. They seized Onyshenko's épée and found a most curious device in its handle. Beneath a layer of leather, there was a button leading to a wiring system. Press the button, and the sensors in the arena were told there'd been a hit. Onyshenko had figured out a way to hit his opponents without touching them. Suffice to say, it was not in the rules. The punishment was immediate. Appeals fell on deaf ears. In disgrace, Onyshenko was booted from the Games, reported to have stopped by his old rival Fox on the way out to say he was sorry. The British went on to take the gold medal. Back at the Olympic Village, the USSR volleyball team threatened to push Onyshenko out of a window. They believed he'd brought shame on the entire nation. But some still say he was a victim himself of the win-at-all-costs Soviet regime. He went back to Kiev and was expelled from the Red Army. He got a personal dressing down from the Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev and a 500-ruble fine. Reports say he was last seen driving a taxi in the Ukrainian capital. Stories of strange wires sticking out of the side of his meter, however, cannot be confirmed.